I hope this live meets you in good faith with an open mind, a mind that is ready to receive, a mind that is very flexible. If you're willing to learn, if you're willing to grow, if you're willing to expand, then here is the right place for you to tune in at this time. So we can have a very educational discussion that will help you to understand the game of life and how the game must be played. Okay? So as long as the reception is good and you're hearing me loud and clear, we can go ahead with this educational discussion. Okay, because it is very much needed. And also, for example, if you're a melanated person listening to me, you have to know what is your concept of God. Okay. And it is a word that been thrown around so many times, especially as a child growing up. That terminology been used in the schools, among your parents, your peers, your friends, your teachers, your relatives, your religious ministers, your governmental ministers, and so on. The word been thrown around all your life. That word been used. The word God. But unfortunately, very few people realize that they are actually a generator and an operator and also a destroyer. Okay. And so when it comes to this discussion concerning Neville Goddard, who a lot of people build their channels around Neville Goddard, it's very important for you as a black man to understand where I am coming from. Okay. And for those of you who do not know where I am living, this country that I'm living in, the family that runs the biggest business in my country is actually the Goddard family. Joseph Goddard by name, which is Neville's father. Okay. And I went as far as providing a picture of Joseph Goddard in one of the building. And today they put security locks on the building. Unless you know the code, you cannot get in the building and go upstairs. Okay, where they have the mission statement and where they have the picture of Joseph Goddard. Okay. So the reason why I decided to speak on this topic, it is because Neville himself stated that he is God based on his awakening. And so he said that in a dream that a voice spoke, and the voice said that God walked with them. And he said that there was a woman who was at his side. And the woman turned around and said, and if God walked with them, where is he? You see, most people accept the concept of God, but most people never ask themselves, where is this God that the preachers are speaking about? What is this God, or where is this God that your parents have been speaking about? And some people never question themselves and ask themselves if their ancestors had any concept of calling on any God or believing in any God on the outside. Okay? And so, my brother and my sisters, Neville Goddard said that the voice said to the woman, at thy side. And the woman looked at him and the woman said, so you mean to say that Neville is God? And he states that the voice said, yes, in the act of awakening. Now, what I want to get across to you is that the white man or the colonizer who would have colonized the world of the black man to control his conversation. In other words, to control his mind and to keep him in a perpetual state of mental slavery. He always wants to play the part of God. So in essence, Neville is saying that the white man is God. And unfortunately, many people have been accepting that narrative unconsciously because they fail to question such authority. They fail to question Neville's philosophy. They fail to question the colonizers' theology and their philosophy. And they fail to think deeply concerning their own psyche. So Neville is saying that basically they are superior, but he's doing it in a diplomatic way. He's being very subtle with it. And that is why, if you understand that Neville Goddard, Joseph Murphy, and the many others, they are scripted. And if you follow the work of Neville Goddard and many others, you would ask yourself, why is it that they used to always have their meeting in the same place, which is the Wilshire Boulevard in the Ebel Theater. You go and do your own research and you'll see there was many of them was having their meetings at Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles at the Ebel Theater. And once you do your own research for yourself and you realize that this can be a coincidence, then you start to understand the game, because I'm basically trying to show you how the game is being played and how you need to win in the game. There because they will play the game on you. So the colonizers and his children have been playing a game. And up to this day, they're still playing the game, which is the game of life, which is based on master and slave. Because you have a head. And your head, this head, is where the intelligence lies. And the rest of the body is just basically the avatar. In other words, the house which your spiritual essence resides in. But if they get you to believe that this house is the actual you, that's how they'll trap you in this three-dimensional realm. So it's a game. And you either get played by the game or you better learn to play the game. Okay? So, for example, when you realize that you are the head, you realize that you are the intelligence, you realize that you are the source, you realize that there's no God on the outside, that everything is in your consciousness and in your awareness. You realize that everything exists within you. All wealth exists within you. All source of help exists within you. All intelligence exists within you. The coin or the currency of your economy lies in your own treasury. Your treasury is your treasure house. It's a place of creativity. That is why, if you do not understand your whole reticular activating system, which is a system that is connected to the sun, just as they mark time using the sun, and they use a clock, and the clock keeps ticking. so too the sun in you, which is the light, where there is the seat of your soul, your consciousness, that they refer to as the solar plexus. There's where the energy generates from. That put your heart chakra in motion in the invisible realm. That's why you cannot see the chakras. So this invisible wheel that is taking place inside of you must be controlled by you. That is how you would discover your own God self. So when Neville tried to usurp your power, when he tried to usurp your identity in a subtle way, because of the script he was handed, because he was definitely a part of a secret society, the Rosicrucian to be specific. And it's only until I start to come on the internet and start to call him out and start to show that their family run the biggest business in my country and that he was a part of a secret society. That's when people know, like Brian Scott, and you could go and check out Brian Scott for yourself. That's when these people start to come out now and start to say that he used to lecture for the Rosicrucians. But now I'm telling you, in Los Angeles, in the Wilshire Ebel Theater, that's where they used to conduct the meetings. Because all of them, they belong to the brotherhood. The same brotherhood they wanted was to invite me to join, because they realized that I'm a very intelligent black man and one who cannot be kept in a slave mentality. One that cannot be controlled. So they wanted was to offer me gift, thinking I would sell my soul for money. Okay, but I don't want to join their Illuminati. And that's why on YouTube they try to shadow ban me, they try to do all of these things. But they cannot stop the intelligence that I am, because this intelligence will always be forever and ever and ever. And so, my brother and my sisters, as a black man, when you wake up out of the dream of life, you can't help but see racism for what it is. You can't help but see colonialism for what it is. You can't help but see politics, religion, the school system, all these things, how they are connected to keep you in mental slavery, to keep you limited. So you wouldn't know the power of your own imagination. You wouldn't know the power of your ancestors. They make you turn around and call voodoo evil. They make you turn around and call everything evil and witchcraft, when they're the ones who are using witchcraft on you through Christianity and the church program and the white Jesus. That's why if you're afraid to cause white Jesus, it means that you're afraid of your own power. Because that's how they're stealing your power. Is a vampire set of people on this planet. Because somebody have to play the part of the foot. And somebody have to play the part of the head. So you have to understand the game. Somebody have to be at the bottom of the barrel. And they don't want to be at the bottom. So they have to play the game whereby they have you at the bottom and they at the top. So if I was them and I understand the game, I would have played the game the same way. That's why I can't carry hate, okay, inside of my heart. It's just that I understand the game and now I am telling you how to play the game. So they're playing the part of God and you're playing the part of the servant. That's why all these black preachers, what they call themselves the servant of God. And who gave them these churches? It was the colonizers who colonized them and built these churches. You check out all of the churches in the Caribbean and the headquarters in Nashville, Tennessee. And these people in Nashville, Tennessee, they're living like gods up there, while the people down here living like slaves, working for the salary, the monthly salary, and giving it to the church. And that's why the church always buy the best lands in every country. You check out any country. They buy the best lands. And they continue through the governmental system, the fake educational system, which all the books you are reading in school, it is the colonizers write all those things for you, even the history. Even the history that they're telling you is the colonizers wrote that for you. So the whole curriculum come from the colonizers who colonize you. Okay? So my brother and my sisters, to awake, you are dangerous. You become their devil. That's why they always portray the devil as black. And they try to portray God as white. Because when a black man awake, he's their greatest enemy. They fear you when you awake because you become sensible. You become a free thinker. You think beyond your prime minister and all of these people because they're still under the crown. They're horse slaves, just working for salary, so they can't speak as free as me and you. And you see, so they have no power. So they have to set up like police system to control you. That's why if you check out the police system in your country, check out who was the first commissioner. I challenge anyone in any Caribbean island to check out the police force in your country and check out who was the first commissioner. And you see, go right back to the colonizers who colonized you. And they set up a fake justice system, a court system. But if you know universal laws and you study universal laws, starting from the law of mentalism, right down to the law of gender, the law of cause and effect, the law of correspondence. If you study all of these laws and you just look at nature and you see you plant pumpkin, you can't reap watermelon, and you understand that law, okay? And then you understand the power of repetition. And how in school they had you repeating the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Well, if you are poor and you want to change your life, you could use the power of repetition to change from poverty to prosperity. And everything I am saying to you is what I've done myself. You could change your bank account just using your mind. If you know how to go to bed every night and you know how to awake, and if you get rid of all of the fear and all of the doubt and the fake God system they give you, if you stop looking to the sky for some sky daddy and you start believing in the Jesus idol they give you, the white eye, the white idol, the blue hair, blonde hair devil that they give you to worship and to bow down to enslave you. If you stop do that, you see how your life will change. You see, they are playing an economic game on you. It's a financial game. It's all about the rich and the poor. It's all about the foolish and the wise. And so, as I said, because this life is a game, somebody have to play the part at the bottom. Because you have the top of your head and you have the bottom of your feet. So you have to be a race of people that have been walked upon on this planet. And every race is trying to protect their race from being the one at the bottom. So they give you Jesus to keep you at the bottom. They give you a false God. They give you an image of themselves. That's why they would always employ you. They would all build the resorts and employ you because they already give you a school system that they put together also. But the word education comes from the word educo, which means to jar out from. And the only thing that you can jar out from is the wealth of experience that you have in you. Well, if you have any experience at all, you would know that the pencil that you use in school, it was first a thought, it was first an idea, it was first imagined. The book, it was first a thought, it was first an idea, it was first imagined. The blackboard, it was first a thought, it was first an idea, it was first imagined. The building that they call school, it was first a thought, it was first an idea, it was first imagined. It was first designed in someone's mind. So, when parents send their children and tell them, go to school, get good education and get a job, they are just basically training their children to be a slave to a system instead of teaching them that greatness is within them and they're born in this world with a gift, they're born with a talent. Okay, When I was growing up, a lot of people said, tell me, oh, you talk too much. No, 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 no. But my mouth is where my gift lies. That's why I speak. The preachers that are pimping the people and taking all their money, what they use? Words, language. They speak. The politicians, they're rubbing shit at the people's mouth and give them shit to eat. And they don't know it's shit that they're giving them to eat, just like the preachers. What they use? The power of language. They speak. So you have to know where your gift lies. That is why when I speak, okay, and I be myself, and I don't try to be nobody else, and I don't pretend, and I don't try to be good, because I know that I'm both good and bad at the same time. And I understand myself like that, and I balance myself like that. I have no devil to blame. Okay, I realize my greatest enemy is myself, and my greatest friend is myself. That's why I don't need no one to come and tell me, oh, Jesus love you. No, I love myself. Okay, because if someone come and tell me that, I plainly tell them, fuck Jesus, because that is me cursing the white man, because that's the white idol they give you. Okay, that's me cursing the devil. So as a black person, your devil is Jesus. I know that for sure, and I could prove it. That is why there's no preacher in my country or around the world that could disprove me. None would challenge me on the internet. I've been challenging them all along. None can challenge me. None, absolutely none. Because when I say that the Bible is a book of mind science, and it's all about your mind, they have to use their own mind to disagree with me. So when you're going to use your own mind to disagree with me, it proves that you're mentally retarded. And unfortunately, most black people have been kept mentally retarded because there's no one could tell me anything that was done in the Bible. From the beginning to the end, that wasn't false a thought or false an idea or false imagine. How could you write a book? I wasn't forced in the mind. Everything is created for us in the mind. So the entire Bible is mental science, and I could explain it to anyone. I could break it down to anyone. The Bible is my playbook. That's why I put my name on a Bible that gives me royalty every month. Yet I say, fuck Jesus, because I know Jesus is a lie. Okay? I know there's no power on the outside. So when the white man want to play the role of God and you, okay, they give you Christianity and secret society. That's the two things they're using. So those black people you see join secret society, okay, they are selling you out to the slave master secretly, okay, because you're not supposed to live with any secret. The only secret is your experience, because what you experience on the inside, no one else could know, okay, but you. But based on what you experience on the inside, you can't help but display it on the outside, because everything is the expression of a thought. The aeroplane, it was false a thought. The automobile, it was false a thought. The telephone, it was false a thought. So much people working for money. Money was false a thought. Which means poverty is a state of mind. And in the countries where you have so much of churches and Christianity, the people become slaves to the banks and the credit unions. The banks and the credit union own these people. Yet they're writing up scriptures and their vehicle, and they own the damn bank. That's why they had to take the vaccine in the big pandemic. Many people in my country hate me when I said it was a big pandemic in 2020. There was a man that came up in my face. He used to run a business called Cloud9. The business shut down now. A very light-skinned man. You could chase your roots all the way back to Europe. Mistake he make was to come up in my face. And I didn't act stupid. So I'm doing this video to show you that Neville and his ancestry, that's just who they are. They are playing a game whereby they want to be God while you be the servant of God. That's why they have all these black preachers calling themselves servant of God. You're saying that you're a slave. That is why when I met these two white men from the Mormons, and because I know their pride is their weakness, I beat my chest and I say, I am God. And these two white men beat their chest too and say they are God. And yet they have on their shirt saying the last testament of Jesus. And I said to them, So why are you going around telling my people about Jesus and you have on your shirt mark the last testament of Jesus? You see, it's a game. These people are playing a game on you. And when you wake up as a black person, okay, you're not afraid of death. All these people go in church, they're afraid of hell. Because they do not know that hell is within. They want to go to heaven, but they don't know heaven is within. Everything happens in your consciousness, in your awareness. All these people say, oh, I dream about Jesus, I dream about that. Up to now, they can't tell you whether it's white, it's black, it's pink. They can't tell you none of that. And if they do, it's still happening in their consciousness. Because the dreamer that dreams every night is you, which is God. So when they say God don't sleep, it's the part of you that don't sleep is God. But they don't want you to know that. You see, if you know that, the system cannot exist any longer and rule over you. You wouldn't need the preachers any longer. You wouldn't need the politicians any longer. So when people like me come out and speak, they have to say, but he crazy. He lost his mind. Don't bother with him. That's what they have to do. Okay? So my brother, my sisters, whether you join a church or you join a secret society, it's no difference. It's the same thing. In the secret society, they only teach you the opposite of what the church teach you. Just recently, I met a man by a secret society. I asked him, what's the abbreviation of the words there? And he tell me and so on. And he said, it's a lodge. I said, I know it's a lodge. Then the first thing he asked me, what church you belong to? I said, I don't belong to no church. Then he start a conversation. He's talking about knowledge. I said, it's not about knowledge, it's about wisdom. Because wisdom is when you apply the knowledge. I said, a lot of people have knowledge, but they never apply it. So my brother, my sisters, what am I really saying to you? You have to claim your God power instead of giving the white man your God power. As a black man, your devil is Jesus. And whenever you realize that your devil is Jesus, and you put Jesus under your feet, then you become the white man devil. You are a problem to the white man. That's why they show you that the devil is black. And they show you God is white. That's why they are painting Jesus in white. To tell you, because the very Bible says, any man that denies that God is come in flesh is antichrist. So it is telling you, if you deny that you come in flesh, having a human experience, and that you are for spirit, if you deny that you are God, if you deny that there's a part of you that is invisible, which is the part of me that is speaking right now, that would leave this body, and I wouldn't speak no longer, I wouldn't walk no longer, and they call it death, which is just a sleep, me putting away this body, and I going back to source. When you deny that, and you are antichrist, the people that goes to church are the real antichrist, but they don't know. You have to doubt God to go to church and belong to a denomination, but they don't realize it. You have to hate yourself to love Jesus, but they don't realize it. That's why they always say, Jesus love you. You're not supposed to look for love from no one or anything outside of yourself. You have to find love in yourself, and you reflect that love on the outside, and it will reflect back to you. So they trick you. So the white man be keeping black people in self-doubt and self-hate, keeping them poor. That's why they were able to give us Vinlec. Vinlec owned by a white family that provide light in our country, and everybody pays light bill. But they will never tell it's a black man that invented this filament that was placed in the bulb. When the white man was trying to build a filament to go in the bulb, it was burning out in seconds. It was burning out in seconds. I'm trying to remember the black man name. Latimer is in his name for sure. I can't bring the full name right now. Okay? And he came up with it, but they never published that. So when they talk about electricity, they always tell you about Thomas Edison. They always tell you about Benjamin Franklin and so on. But they never tell you about the black man who built the filament. Even the water in our country. And everybody have to pay water bill. But people fail to realize is the white people paying it too. They think it's government. No. They give them a little pocket change out of it. So these corporations actually owned by white family. The church is owned by white family. All the churches. There's a church right down there, so. Right down, not too far from where I'm here, about say 5 minutes walk. Right now, they play a bunch of music, all thing. They're owned by white family in America. I remember the last time they was down here, I approached them, I said, you all come to visit the monkeys. The black monkeys. That you all gave a pen to worship. Because you see, these people, they will laugh with you and smile with you while they actually literally hate you. Literally hate you. And they can't change. It's just the nature. So I'm not saying anything. I'm expecting anything different. I'm only saying this to educate you. So you would know a goat could never take the place of a sheep, and a sheep could never take the place of a goat. And a sheep is the dumbest animal on the planet. And they use the Bible for you to call yourself a sheep and say you need a shepherd. And they make the shepherd a white man and give you a white image. You see how dumb our people have become? That's why in my country, they used to have banks like Nova Scotia. It was white people owned those banks. They used to have Barclays Bank. Now, because money could change anytime and go to digital or whatever, they pass them back to the government, the so-called governments in the islands. So you have Bank of Simis and the Grenadines, but St. Lucia have certain parts they own in it and so on. And so these other people, they are ruling from behind, so you don't see them anymore. You're not seeing them. That's why people don't know. It's why people run the businesses. And what they're doing, they're using some people that look like you as figureheads in business. Even put the name in the business and not them own the businesses. To take the money away from the people and always keep you poor and give you religion. That's how the game has been played. So when Neville Goddard, which Goddard, as I tell you, they have the biggest business in my country. They changed the name, it was Traders. And from Traders, they call it Couriers. There was another name before, Traders too, okay? There used to be Goddards and Sons. Okay, then there used to be Traders. And there used to be another name before, not right now, the Couriers and Hazels and Ace and all them. One set of people. And they pass it, what they do, they normally pass it down from generation to generation to generation. Okay? So my brothers, my sisters, don't believe in any God in the sky. Your God. They don't want you to believe it or know it. You have the power to kill and the power to destroy. That's why the power of life and death is where? In your tongue. It's where you speak over your life. Like for example, I see a man in Jamaica went and shoot a woman right in front of the door of a church. And these foolish people in the church talking about, I plead the blood of Jesus. You could plead the blood of Jesus against bullets. That's how brainwashed our people have become. In America, a black woman was shot in the face, telling the white policeman, but I rebuke in the name of Jesus. The policeman is shooting the motherfucking face and shoot her in her face. There's no Jesus gonna protect you. There's no Jesus gonna save you. So I'm saying stop worshiping the white man as God. Stop calling the white man God. Stop believing in his philosophy. And get in touch with your ancestry. Get in touch with nature. Get in touch with the sun, the S-U-N, which powers all the world. The light of the world is the sun, not Jesus. They switch the S-U-N and give you a S-O-N and make you a fool. So my brother, my sister, use the information to strengthen you. Use the information to get rid of the curse, the generational curse. What your parents passed down to you. Your mother believe a lie. Your father believe a lie. Your uncle, your aunt, they all believe a lie. But you can get rid of the lie. And Neville, I've been selling you a lie mixed with some metaphysical truths. Because as long as you belong to some secret brotherhood, okay, they're gonna tell you the script you must play. And if you look at these secret brotherhood, they always doing acting. They always like plays. They always love parody. That's why many a time, if you could read between the lines, you get the conversation through their movies. There's all subliminal messages all around you. So my brother, my sisters, understand the power of language. Understand the power of language. Understand the power of words. So don't get caught up with the Neville narrative. I saw a black woman and I pop the balloon show talking, but she reading the power of awareness and she reading Neville. Yes, it's good to read those things. Okay, it is good to be aware. It's good to get certain knowledge. But what shall it profit you if you gain this world and lose your soul? Let me explain to you what it means. What would it profit you if you gain the temporal material things or learn how to get those things, but never learn who you are? That's the most important thing. And so people who goes to church normally quote these kind of quotes, but do not understand them. They're empty talkers. That's why they're just the feeders on the planet. They're always receiving something, but they're never giving anything. So, my brother, my sisters, make it make sense when Neville said that he's God. And then he turned around and said that he was mentored by a black man called Abdullah, which is a lie. The secret brotherhood gave him that script. And he sell it to the world. And a lot of black people believe it and run with it. How could Neville turn around and say that the boys say that God walk with them and the woman at his side, and if God walk with them, where is he? And he say, at thy side. And the woman look at Neville and say, you mean to say that Neville is God? And he said that the voice said, yes, in the act of awakening. That is, he's saying that the white man is God. Yet he come back and he tell you that he was mentored by a black man from Ethiopia who taught him Kabbalah. It's a lie. It's a game. So how could you mentor God? If it is true, they're lying. It is because they don't want to be at the bottom. And somebody have to play the role at the bottom. Somebody have to play it. As I always say, somebody have to clean the street, but it don't have to be you. Somebody have to clean the toilet, but it don't have to be you. Okay? We need our garbages to be taken out. Somebody have to do it, but it don't have to be you. That's all I'm saying. So my brother, my sisters, learn the game of life. Learn to read books. Read as much books as possible. Educate yourself. Most of our people don't educate themselves. When they leave school, they never read a book again because they taught them in school that they must chase after money. So go and get a job. But instead of you looking for a job, look to know who you are. And you'll find in you that you have a power, you have a special gift. When you use your special gift, money become your servant. You don't become the servant of money. And so these pale-skinned devils can't trick you. You don't depend on them. That's why my children, they'll never work at no resort. Never happen. They'll never work in no one's kitchen. I'll never raise my children that way. Because why? I fail. I refuse to be a slave. I refuse to be a slave. I stand on business. I stand with my integrity. That's why offering me money, it can't work. I'll never join no Illuminati. Okay? Over 4 times they reach out to me. Never join. Join a secret society. Never in this life. Ever. As a matter of fact, even before they ever reach out to me, ancestors don't take me and show me. Or they just trap your soul in the realm. When I went over in that realm, meet a person who in my country that millions of dollars, big building in the city. And meet the person there who don't pass on. And when I open my mouth and begin to speak, the person right there sitting, watching me, not saying anything at all. And I had an innate ability to know she was a part of a secret society back here. I remember when I was a little boy going to school. The people who used to walk with that person's parents, they used to throw mango over the gate for us. They had a bunch of big dogs, swimming pool. They had lawn tennis court, all thing. Person was there and I knew. And then, when I met a man who black people follow, a white man who call himself the last day prophet and say how he's the Elijah of Malachi chapter 4. When I met that man in what I would call woodland, it's a place whereby you find yourself in a forest. And you could hear the man, but you can't find the man. Night after night after night after night, I hearing the man, but can't find the man. When I do find the man, it's because why? I went ahead of the man. A man who was trained by the KKK and the Masons. A man who actually studied with a man named Roy E. Davis, who was the head of the KKK, could go do your own research. Down in Jeffersonville, Indiana. Jeffersonville, he born. Okay. Way back in 1909. Study with Roy E. Davis. You understand, who was head of KKK. As a matter of fact, he was the imperial wizard. Okay. And this man run a so-called revival around the world. Check a bunch of Africans and so on. And I would hear him night after night, but can't find him. Last in a wilderness. Till I went ahead. I met him face to face and see what he was doing. Whenever he put his foot down here, when he removed his foot, a tree will spring up there. So if you follow, you always last. That's why all these churches were built by white people. And all these secret society were built by white people. So if you was a black person and you believe in Jesus and you believe in going to church, you're not my friend. You're my enemy. Telling you plain and straight. So this thing really had nothing to do so much with just the color of skin. Because if you are a black person and you believe in Jesus, I have a banana for you. I call you a monkey. You have an unorganized mind. If you get caught up with Neville Goddard and his philosophy just because you want to manifest money or you want to live a certain life materialistically, and you're going to refuse to listen to a man like me and the knowledge I share with you, showing you when you open up your real third eye and you experience the real rebirth as a black man, you have to see your devil, the white man. And whenever a white man becomes truly self-aware, he have to see the black man who become aware and enlightened as his devil. I'm not about to fool you. So all the black people you spend internet want to talk about the conscious, don't bother with them. When you become conscious as a black man, you will see where the confusion come from. Because, for example, I grew up in a predominantly black country, right? I never faced racism and prejudice as people in America would have done. Okay? People who come from families that pick cotton and all of that and could live for hundreds of years and tell them stories and so on. And could experience like the Chiva and Martin and all of these different things will happen and so on. And the men that were lynched, and the women who were lynched, and the baby that they stamp on the head, the born in a Black Wall Street and so on. When they refuse the remedy for smallpox, because it was a enslaved man was giving them the remedy and the rather was to die. They even attacked their own doctor who wanted us to accept the African man remedy. Okay, to get rid of smallpox and all of that. When you know all of these things, and you experience all of these things, it's different. But me growing up in a colonized island, I never see race yet. Never ever see race. Let me show you something. Let me just share something with you to show you. I remember I went to Barbados. And I will always talk about these things. You hear me talk about these things over and over many times. I went to Barbados to take part in a bodybuilding show because I always love bodybuilding. Natural, when I get to find out there was something a natural bodybuilding where people don't take steroids because we didn't know what steroids these men were taking. And I went there. I think it was around 2009 to be specific. That time I wasn't even fully awake as yet, but I would have already left Christianity and everything. I met a white man who I used to see in magazine, in the Natural Bodybuilding magazine, and I became like a fan. His name was Jim Cordova. I don't know if this man was a Jew or a guy named Jim Cordova. I could check him out. He claimed to be natural. I don't know. I think he was a recycling. I went to shake the man and he refused to shake me hand. And a white woman was there and said, man, the man is just a fan. That's why I shook my hand. I end up sit with that guy, talk with that guy, take out pictures, everything with that guy. Because I wasn't aware. But bro, when I become enlightened and awake around between 2014 2015, after 2013 I walk off of a resort I used to work. And I wrote a book called Bukumembe Resort and the Messenger. When I stand up to those white men and I say, I'm not an endangered servant, I do not have a slave mentality. You understand? I say, God will stand with me. And I leave and I went home and I say, I'm not going to look for no work. I ain't going to walk with nobody. Whatever I supposed to do, come in right here in this house and meet me. That's how I end up owning my first business. It come right to me. Okay? Without me asking anyone, it came right to me. And when the offer came to me, I said, unless they call me and tell me to come to sign, I'm not leaving the house. Not until when they send me, I say, come and sign the paper to start to use the building. That's when I went and I signed. Okay? So, my brother and my sisters, I didn't have all of that kind of experience like some people. And I'm telling you, when I wake up from the dream of life, then I start to see the ills of racism. Then I start to see the ills of colonialism. Then I start to see the condition of my people. And then I start to understand why my people are the way they are. Then I start to see the devil. Then I realize Jesus is actually the devil that our people worshiping. They're worshiping the white man. They're worshiping the white idol that was given to them. Then I realize when they meet our ancestors would have already known the inner sun science. That's why I've been teaching the inner sun science. Are they hidden among what they call the spiritual Baptists, which what there was no Christian or any Christianity in it. But the white man didn't understand what they were doing. Even they themselves do not understand up to this day except for me. And so the white man used to persecute them. And then they had a white man who was the prime minister of this country. He turned around and gave them a holiday and tell them because they were persecuted. And the spiritual Baptists do not know why they were persecuted. When nobody in the Caribbean was ever persecuted for believing in Jesus. Nobody in the Caribbean was ever persecuted for that. Then they tell us that we have a chief named Joseph Chate, and he's a hero. But they never tell you what he did believe. And what he really fought for, and they make you believe he was fighting for save country. No, what spirituality? He was a mystic just like me. They can't fool me. I can't be fooled. And I can't be controlled. That's why the first thing they try to do half of my money. So I join the Illuminati. Fuck you and your money. I can't be bought and sold. I'm not a slave. I don't have no slave mentality. They could buy the preachers. They could buy the politicians. They can't buy me. No money could buy me. When you wake up out of the dream of life and you understand that this life is a game, you understand this world is a simulation. It ain't real. You think it's real? When you fall asleep, where does it go to? When you die, where do you go? The fool you tell you you're going to hell or heaven. No. They're checking you. If you have a state of mind, you're going where your state of mind is. So whatever consciousness you die in, that's where you're going to end up. That's why, for example, if a man is an alcoholic and he go with a woman, he's doing what? Downloading the woman. It's just like you download something on a flash drive and you put it back in the computer and you see what you reveal everything that was downloading it. It's the same thing with a child. So most likely the child gonna turn out, if a boy or a girl, and become an alcoholic. Well, it's the same thing when the white people download the false interpretation of the Bible, whereby they didn't interpret it as a book of mind science. They interpret it as literal and secular history and make you believe that woman opened she leg and gave birth to a child. When it's the secret of a man giving birth, the virgin birth is the secret of a man giving birth. Go read my book called The Secret Vagina, Mystery of the Virgin Birth. The secret portal up here. Where called Golgotha, the place of the skull. There's an opening there. You could come out. Can't fool me. When I speak from experience. So when Neville say he's God, and I had the same experience, so what that make me? I'm about 200 years ahead of my people in my country. That's why they think I'm crazy. They think I lost my mind. But they're correct. I do lost my mind. I lost the colonial mind. I lost the scarcity mindset mind. I lost the poverty mind. That's why no bank could say I borrow from them. I remember before I buy my vehicle, a Christian man tell me, so if you know all them things about the Bible, what you saying? That Bible, mind science, I could use the Bible to get anything you want once you know how to use it and all that. If you know that, why you ain't got right? I say, bro, because I live by a code. If you can't buy at least 5, you ain't ready to buy one yet. One day driving, and the vehicle making a song to tell me one of the door open. I stop. When I look, who was behind me? The same guy. Pointed to me and tell me it seemed like that door was open. And I saved that guy in the time of the pandemic. When he wanted was to challenge me. I said, the government is going to tell you that you have to take vaccine because you're a custom officer. That time the government didn't say anything yet. So how do you would have to take the vaccine? He end up and was protesting, you know. And you know, today, he actually gone back as a custom officer. He done do about 30 years. Because he was on television and all thing protesting. But he would never say because I did challenge him and tell him he would have to take it. And then he gone back in the system. And then his wife running a preschool to brainwash the children with Jesus. These preachers and politicians, they're bullies and gangsters. So what they're doing, they're forcing themselves psychologically and spiritually on your children when they're young. It's a different form of grape. I'm using the word grape because sometimes they don't want to use certain words on the internet. Because remember they want to control the narrative, you know. So they want to censor you and all of that. So I just saying grape, but you can understand. So they're graping your children from a very young age. They tell you to believe in Jesus, and they tell you Jesus came to his senses when he was 12. But when your little child they kindergarten in school, and your little child go preschool, and they tell your little child about Jesus, what they doing? When they're even 12 yet. You see how they contradict everything they tell you? So they're graping the mind of the children. And then they're going to turn around and tell you about child abuse and this and that. They're who doing it. They're the real pedophiles. Forcing themselves and the children through what? Impressing the subconscious mind with repetition. That's why every day the children have to say praise to Jesus. I'm sorry for the children. Just recently they was going to do CPA, which is an examination they normally do to go to secondary school. You know they have the children saying? They have the children singing a song that Jesus on the main line. Tell him what you want. And I was laughing. I said, if Jesus on the main line, you could just tell Jesus what you want. Everybody would be a billionaire. Then the child don't need to study no book. The child just need to play and everything. Don't study no book. Don't do no homework. Don't do nothing. Just call up Jesus on the main line. And tell Jesus what you want. You realize how stupid these songs be. The black people that sing in church, but then they know. And you can't tell them. You can't tell them, you know? No, they hate you for telling them. But my brother, my sisters, when you be yourself, you know how good and how sweet it be? When I speak to you, me studying about standard English, me trying to say proper grammar, you know some people like that? You know, for example, I wrote a lot of books, right? And you know people in my country, if they read my book, you know, they'll find a grammatical error to tell me about. And when it comes to writing book, they don't ever have a award for best writer, you know. It's bestseller. Ooh, my life sweet. Bestseller. Who's the bestseller? So if your book, it's about a white man named Grant Cardone. He wrote a book. He tell you his book had how much? Thousands of error. And he sells so much of copies. It's about bestseller. Brother, that's why you know. I'm nobody fool you. Wake up, black people. Bro, if you can't say fuck Jesus, you're sick in your mind. You're brainwashed. If you believe when you say fuck Jesus, that you are blaspheming. You're suffering from a mental disease. There's no Jesus except the one that you are imagining. You are imagining that a man didn't exist. The fuck? Which means your imagination exists before Jesus. Common sense. I too crazy for this country. I can't be controlled. Because me not that stupid. You have to imagine it, to speak it, or to believe it. Believe some man exists thousands of years ago will save you. No, you have to save yourself. You have to pay all the bills yourself. Jesus can't pay bills. You can't go to Vinlek and say Jesus pay the price. You can't go to the supermarket and say Jesus pay the price. You better get your lame ass and pay the price with your money. This is the best sermon some people ever gonna hear. I need to get myself a podium. I want to support this work, man. Let me build a place. Because sometimes when I come out here, they could tell me leave. They say, oh, you're too loud. They could tell me that. Support the work. I need your support. Because YouTube ain't going to support me the way they should. I need your support. Buy my books. This is not just a man asking you for something. This is not, Omar Johnson asks me for money for say for build school. You want build school for? You want build school for all the school in my bill? Every time they say, oh, we got Africa go build school. The church of collect house of money. Oh, we got Africa go build school. School don't save you. It's the gift inside of you that'll save you. It's the gift inside of you that'll open up doors for you. It's the gift inside of you that'll show you your God self. So not make no person like Neville Goddard come and tell you he God. Are you a God? So my brother and my sister is an hour now. Okay. I really need a podium to jump up and down. I want to sweat more than TJX. Because you have a bunch of perspiration and no inspiration. Because I know people lack these kind of sermons. And this is not even a sermon. This is like a discourse, a lecture. But I want to be myself, and I want to get a place. That one of my desire, a place that could really freely be myself without disturbing anybody. Even have a put song booth, I be myself. I sweet, I love it. Cause why? Gift, me gift. They say people used to tell me, "Oh, this go put your mom go put you in trouble." I don't care. I don't care. Black people have to rise up from the bottom. And somebody have to stand with them. And somebody have to speak the truth. If Neville Goddard is God, I am God. The no experience Neville Goddard have that I never have. Have you ever sit and wonder and really ask yourself, what did the white man have done that a black man can't do? There's nothing a white man could do a black man can't do. There's nothing that a Chinese man could do that a black man can't do. Don't let nobody fool you. All we need to do is unite. That's why we need a united Africa. Look, bro, let me say this before I come to a close here. You know, if I could have just become invisible and just travel every part of the world, you see all them puppet leaders in Africa that take them out, you know? All of them. This is no joke, you know? All them puppet leaders you have in Africa, them first. Because Africa could take care of the whole world. The riches in Africa is a reflection of within inside of you as a black person. Let me say this again too. You see all them people that bleach their skin? Look, you see people in Jamaica, you see a bunch of young men in Jamaica bleaching their skin. Them is a bunch of pussy boy. And them just want to call people, they just want to burn all kind of fire and everybody else. They just want to burn fire on homosexual. They're worse than the homosexual. Bleaching the skin. Man and woman in Jamaica bleaching the skin. Man and woman in my country bleaching the skin. I'm afraid to call it, once you bleach in your skin, I see you less than, I see you at the level of an animal. You're only living in where you could see, taste, touch, and smell. Something wrong with you. You're mentally sick. Bleach skin. Fuck, just watch the earth, bro. Just watch the soil. Where the food come from. Just like you. You bleaching your skin? Do you realize the bleaching cream industry must be $1 billion industry? And I gonna keep quiet? For views? To say I showing you speed? Huh? Government show the fucking Caribbean pay I show speed to bring speed for make a monkey and the children them barking like dog. Baby like monkey. I hear some children make a monkey song. I ask them, why you guys make a monkey song? They say, no, it's not a monkey song. It's barking, I show speed. That kind of influence. That's why they want you join the Illuminati, why you join all of that. To infiltrate the mind of the children. If you love poverty, if you love not poverty, if you love fame and popularity, that's what I mean to say. If you love fame and popularity, I should speak on behalf of the black people. We're speaking on behalf of black people. If I have a million lifetime, I'm coming back black. They're like, we talk about reincarnation, that you're coming back. I know, I don't want to come back no white man. If there's a contract, you keep coming back and you want, I don't want to come as no white man. I don't want to come as no Chinese man. I don't want to come as no other man. I come in black man. Just like this. Because I love myself, bro. And the thing that give me so much a jive is to know I ain't grow up and face like we black people face in America. But I could tell anybody, what kind of self-realization a black man could come to and understand the evils of the pale skin man. Come on, no man. Come on, no man. You don't have to join no Islam or nothing and talk about no Honorable Farrakhan and all of that. You don't need none of that. All you need to wake up, bro. When you wake up as a black man, you know, it's a different kind of man. You start to see things you never see before. Right in front of you. Everything right in front of you, you never see it before. Yeah, sometimes I walk in the city and say, how did we allow ourselves to come like this? What was wrong with our people? I remember when our people saw on all the businesses, no, a bit foreigners own the business. I know in my country. Let me, I really want to come to close because I have another life to do, okay? You know in my country, they run a CBI program in my country. I know they do, they check their use. They bring a white man, say he represent the IMF, and tell them how since 2016 they've been warning the politicians in my country about the debt they have and how by 2031 or 2032 around there, how the country could basically almost say like could be financially ruined. For lack of words, let me just use that. Okay. And how they need to do certain things, and it's like they can't employ the children that are coming out from school and all of these kind of things and so on and all of that, right? And here what they tell them. They say all of that, right? But one thing they make sure they're secure, they say they have to use the CBI, which is citizenship by investment, something like that, yeah. But they're gonna sell citizenship, okay, to people who want to come and invest or whatever. Because Antigua and other places have that same shitting program there. It's a slave program. If you really understand what's going on. Which means your people not innovative, they're not fucking creative. Something wrong with the people in your country. That's the message they basically said. And many people so fucking sick. You know, the mind they can't create. They can't innovate. They can't do nothing. You know what the IMS tell them? They have to make sure whatever money they get from the CBI, they pay their debt with it. They can't use it to do no development, nothing. You pay your debt with that. That have to be a scam. That have to be a setup. Because the new government right now always want to run that CBI day, citizen by investment, and the fully people, they're gonna swallow that, you know. They're gonna swallow hook, line, sinker. They're gonna swallow everything. So my brother and my sisters, you are God, not Neville Goddard. Don't make Neville fool you and talk about voice speak and talk about God, walk with them. And see God is at thy side. And that is our Neville is God in the act of awake, so I be in the act of awakening. So a black man wake up in the island. I'm telling you. When you wake up, use the white man devil. That's why they show you the devil as black and God as white. So once you accept God as white and you follow the white man, okay, that you actually embracing the devil, but you don't know you embrace the devil. Because they get to play the part of God. And you play the opposite. But when you shift it the other way around, you see. That's what it's all about, brother. That's what it's all about. That's why the more people wake up, like for example in my country, is the more families and bloodline would be back in control. Because it's a bloodline thing too, you know. Yeah, let me say this. There's always been a unique bloodline in this island, you know. When it was Hairuna, before it became St. Vincent, which is the colonial name. And they hide it from the people. Okay? And that's why Shakerism, there's something that the people practice. That name is Shakerism, but they change it and call it spiritual Baptist. That the people who practice in it do not know the science and the symbolism of what they're doing, except I know it. You understand? And the man who was running the country, who they say they did all was in 2016, he gave them a holiday. I said it already, I said it again. He tell them I give them a holiday. It's something in me coming in. Tell them it's a holiday. And then, where the European youth leave the children up in Dorsetshire Hill, up there, they tell them that's where their national hero buried. And every 14th of May, they're going up there. No, 14th of March, I think. They're going up there. But not the real man buried up there. They go brand message, stupid and crazy. But I always tell them right over there, the secret is under the bowly tree. There's a bowly tree over there. So my brother and my sisters, make it make sense when Neville Goddard want to tell you that the white man is God. So you have to say he was forced here. So basically, he's saying that they are the indigenous people of the planet. Can't be so. Which means they're saying that they were in South Africa before Shaka Zulu. That's why if you chase, there's a lot of black men, you know, who started out as we call it, activists and warriors. You understand? And they end up as something else, politician, Nelson Mandela, all of them. I was checking out a man, I can't remember his name, I can't remember his Thomas or whatever, but there's a black man in America, went up in Congress or something like that, who was started as an activist, sell his own mother house and property to some white man in the same Congress and things and so on too. Can't remember his name. But people, many of them, they will sell their own. So my brother and my sister, you're God, man, and Neville. You make Neville play no game, man. Understand the Neville Goddard game. That's all I just saying. Understand the Neville Goddard game, okay? So let me read these comments and I'm going to come to a close and go on another live. Okay, I'll show you the heaven lie they sell to black people. Okay, I'm going to stand in the part of black people till they die. Our people will fucked up, but standing with them. Yes, man. They're not easy to deal with, but I'm standing with them. 100%. I want you people. Believe you me. I ain't changing. It's impossible. You know why? There's something inside of me. Can't help but to see what I am seeing, which I couldn't see before. I couldn't see before. I was blind. You could have bring a white preacher from any part of America and preach for me. I never see race before until my eyes open. So when people talk, oh, I so conscious, all this kind of, I know that. I know that. Oh, there's no race. And I know that too, I know that to that level there. But on this level here, when they had COVID, what were they cheat black people in China? When they had the war in Ukraine and people getting out, what were they cheat black people? Every year they cheat black people a certain motherfucking kind of way. So nobody gonna get me compromised, me laughing and talking and grinning and skinning with no motherfucking person who is basically against me and try to skin and laugh and talk with me and so on. I'm not gonna do it. I'll be honest. Not gonna do it. It's hard for me to do that. That's why I always say, how could a black man have a relationship with a white woman? And how could a black woman really have a relationship with a white man? I'm trying to understand it. Please, somebody try to get me to understand. Reach out to me on a Zoom, on a live. Let me talk about it. I don't want to talk about it in secret. I want to talk about it before the wall. Somebody explain to me, please. Because I am trying to understand how the fuck a goat go understand a sheep. How a sheep go understand a goat. I'm trying to understand that. How can a cat understand a lion or a lion understand a cat? Or how an eagle could understand a chicken heart? A chicken. How can an eagle understand a chicken? Chicken the out bung, eating a bunch of dead thing. Eagle so in the air. Eating thing live. Feeding the children by regurgitating back everything up and mouth to mouth. So somebody please help me if I'm misleading anyone. So let me read the comment here. Someone said hi. Hi to you too. VYNTR. Okay, music. Okay. Hello to you. Okay. Someone said hi also. I'm saying hi to you also. Someone say easy to talk, brother. Okay. Someone say do more than talk. You have to say what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Tell me what do you want me to do? Because you're not coming up with any solution when you just make this statement. You have to come up with solution. At least I'm educating people and I'm showing people how the game is being played. You have to learn from that. By any means necessary. That's how the game is being played. Because those colonizers, they if you check them out, it was by any means necessary. Okay? So what do you want me to do? State what you want me to do. Rida Al-Dashti. You state what you want me to do. More than talk. Someone says here too, we pay water bill in the United States. Yes, all over there have you pay water bill. Someone says here, I am a goddess. Yes, we are gods and goddesses. Someone says here, you are consumed with the notion of race, that you will miss the ultimate realization that here, O Israel, the Lord is one. This person here, I do not believe this person have a passport. I do not believe this person ever travel anywhere. I do not believe this person is in the right mind. Okay? You see, when it says that the Lord is one, let me wait till you wait. Calm down a little. Let me explain for this person. Yeah. When the book of Mind Science speak about the Lord is speaking about your invisible self. It is speaking about energy. So it is saying there's only one energy. But the energy or consciousness, okay, could display itself in two ways. In a destructive way and in a creative way. Let me simplify it a little bit more for you. Okay. The same water that you use to cook with, the same water you use to put in the fridge to give you ice, that same water could be used to destroy you. The same thing with the fire, the same thing with the wind, the same thing with the earth. The same earth that we plant to get our food from still could be used to destroy you. Okay? So when you speak about one, this is what it is speaking about. Because common sense will teach you that animals, there are many different species, a variety of animals. They have different diet and they have different behavior. But it's the same thing with black people and white people and Chinese people and so on, and Indian people. We have different behavior, which means we carry different states of consciousness. The enslavers and colonizers, they carry a certain state of consciousness. And you have to know what state of consciousness they carry. And know that they will never, ever lose a state of consciousness. And you must be aware of it. So, don't go quoting Bible like a fool, having no understanding. Israel is talking about ISIS, going on about ISIS, going on about Ra, and go and understand the L, which is the God self. Go understand the sun and the inner sun science. Go get me course. It's just $20 and go listen to all the videos on the inner sun science. It's that inner sun science always taking place. Everything they print in money is light from a certain angle. Everything always goes back to light. Someone say you will always miss the mark because you believe in separation / duality. You do not understand what you're speaking about. When it comes to separation and it comes to the all is speaking about energy, vibration, and frequency. It is speaking about connection, that everything is connected. Yet, that same one thing could be destructive and it could be creative. That's what you're missing. So I'm saying the white man have a nature and you have a nature. And that's a fact, and you can't change it. If you want to do something, challenge me. Challenge me to a debate. I'll shut the fuck up. Because you're just wasting time. If you can't challenge me on the internet, you're talking bullshit. Okay? Misunderstood and misinterpreted. Just like 99% of the Christians thinking of Jesus as an outside man. Who the fuck this man was listening to? Who died for our sins, not seeing the symbolism that Jesus is the awakened I am in all of us. You not awakened. You wasn't even listening. You don't even know shit what you talking about. You just fucking talking. You just a yapper, bro. You just a yapper. Challenge me, bitch. Do that. You just full of a bunch of fucking knowledge, no experience. I know what I'm talking about. Everything you talk and you describe it, my whole experience. Now you talk about the splitting of the temple veil. He kept away from all those who believe in separation, especially who takes race to heart. That's what they teach them in the black people in all the secret fucking society. You can't bullshit me with that kind of talk. Because I know all this consciousness. I know that. I know on what level you're talking about. There's oneness on a certain level. And there's separation on another fucking level, bro. That's why you have a passport, bitch. Fuck you talking. Fuck is you talking about? Bitches like you are so much a coward. You can't just say this on the fucking internet talking shit and typing a bunch of shit. That's why black people who join secret motherfucking society all speak these kind of shit. They tell them that, oh, we are all on this, that. No. On one fucking level. On another level, you have to understand. The difference between a sheep and a goat. What you talking about? Then he go, oh, there is neither Jew nor Greek. The fuck? This man quoting Bible out of context. My awareness is not Greek, is not Jew, is not none of that. That we talking about consciousness is none of that. It's just like the wind blowing right now. It ain't blowing on the Jew and it ain't blowing on the Greek. I ain't blowing on the Gentile. Understand the elements, bro. Before you come talking, and then, oh, they're neither bond nor free. That motherfucker saying there's no bond nor free. Yo, this motherfucker is so lame. He's afraid to show his fucking face. He's afraid to challenge me. I'm challenging you, bitch. I challenge you. Prove that you're not a bitch. And come, let's go. Let's discuss this on the Zoom call. Let us set up the Zoom call. So we will post it on the internet. Bunch of cowards out here. I'm quoting scripture. There's neither male nor female. There's neither male nor female. This motherfucker have to, will you be a faggot or something? You're a batty boy if there's no male or female. Serious fuck, man? Shit you talking. For you all one. Then you homosexual and them people that use the rainbow color. The transgender could use this too. This asshole quoted fucking Galatians. Who fucking write Galatians? I'm talking about how that hate the white man is not taught in Bible. The fuck you think the Bible be? Bible is not no authority over nobody. You think the Bible is a final authority? You think the Bible is what you call it? You think some invisible being wrote the Bible? Man, just like you fucking self wrote the Bible and put the Bible together. You think the Bible is an absolute? You dumb. So you think the Bible is an absolute? The Bible is not an absolute. Then you go on to say you are not he because the Son was revealed to you. You can tell by your one bag of folly. Of course the Son don't fucking reveal to me and call me father, bitch. Why you think I could fucking expose Neville and expose all the pale skin motherfucking devils and demons on this planet? The sickness on this planet. You people sickness on this planet. A disease. Why you think I could do that? Huh? Because the Son already called me father and he didn't have no fucking blonde hairs when Neville tell you. So shut the fuck up, little bitch. And challenge me, like, little pussy. With a little teeny weeny. Why you think you are this lynch black man? stomach down and stabbing little unborn child and all kind of thing. I could never forget about. I stand with the people of America and what they've been going through, and I live in the motherfucking Caribbean because my eyes open. And I see my talking, you little bitches, always hiding behind some fucking computer, some keyboard. I wanted us to finish in 1 hour, but I had to deal with this bitch here. Someone say, if you claim, the same asshole said, if you claim you are God, you have to be the cause of everything. Of course, of cause and effect. You're talking about cause and effect. That happened to you in life. Therefore, you can't say you are God. It is written, I create the God. I create evil. I the Lord. Who is the I? You can say, I am not referring to yourself, bro. Do all these things. The fuck, just quoting empty motherfucking scripture without no understanding and fail to realize it's pen and ink. Fail to realize everything was first a thought, first an idea, first imagine, everything was first in the mind. Boy, don't listen. I like to see the faces of these kind of pussies that's come on the internet and write these things, but they won't, they're so coward. They so much have no balls. They so much have no backbone, they won't show their face. They won't. You see I ever hide? You see I doing any fucking faceless? Let me show you no pussy. There's too much of pussy black man and thing in America all over the motherfucking place. Me selling myself. I standing up. As I tell you, I standing with black people till the day I leave this earth. Because my eyes open and I see the fucking devil in these people. I see it. Nobody can tell me otherwise. I see what colonialism doing to our people, Brett. I see what they use the Bible and do to our people. You can't tell me otherwise. You tell me about fucking quoted Neville and talk about his son. Neville talk about some white boy call his father. A black son call me fucking father, bro. Keep quiet. Someone say thanks. Keep it up, brother. Always appreciate you. I appreciate you too. Even this one who comment. I appreciate all your comment. But take up the challenge. Take up the challenge. Therefore, if you experience racism, it's because there is still something in our subconscious that is holding on to it, attracting it in your experience. You are the cause of all that happened to you. Okay, now, okay, God, now let me deal with you with that. Okay, when it comes to cause and effect, right? And understand that everything is mental and everything is psychological. If you're gonna use that to say what you're saying, then you have to say also that the reason why you had enslavers, let me just wait for the wind candle, and the reason why you had men who are lynching black men and doing buck breaking on black men and raping black women and born in Black Wall Street and all the atrocities that these pale-skinned people have done is because of the nature. Because you talking cause and effect. And that is the effect of these motherfuckers. Yo, shut the fuck up. If you don't know what you're saying. Because I'm highlighting the effect of the consciousness of these fucking demons on the planet. They are demons on the planet. And you're worshiping them. These fucking demons. Demon worshiping and you worshiping Jesus. Going to church is demon fucking worshiping. Misquoting the Bible and understanding it as a book of mind science is demon fucking worship. Shut the fuck up, bro. You know what the fuck you saying? That whole Bible is my fucking playbook. Because it's all mind science, motherfucker. What could you comment on this live? That is not mental or psychological. That ain't coming from your mind. Stop being a fucking monkey and challenge me, bitch. I call you all those names so you could challenge me. Accept the challenge. Just accept the challenge. Then you go and say, oh, you must become like Abdullah. Who fucking Abdullah you talking about? There's a script given to Neville. Okay, you talking about fucking Abdullah. Which Abdullah? Abdullah means you're a fucking slave of God. A slave to God. A servant of God. I never say, yeah, God. You motherfucking stupid asshole, boy. Yo, show your face, no bitch. Why you not showing your face? Why not challenging me, child? You know what? After this, if you ain't challenge me, I'm not reading no more. Let me just read this last one in. Okay. He says here that my mind is spoiled by hate. Bro, everything that the white man do to the black man, we call it and I hate. This motherfucker is real fucking dumb. I'm not gonna read no more comment from you. Challenge me, motherfucker. Challenge me. Only a free black man could express himself like this. Even Martin Luther King and all of them and Malcolm X couldn't speak like this. That wasn't quite free. They were still trying to be nice because of the religion. The aspect of religion. They want to be a gentleman. The age of gentleman done. Being real. And being my real self. I'm not going to read no more comment from you. Waste of time. Someone says, Phoenix says, you are making a good point, but you too bad mouth. It takes away from the message. No. You see, you can't face in your own self to know that you're supposed to be free to express yourself. They make you believe there's such a thing as bad word. The bad words come from the pulpit. You see, you will never say what you said to me to a preacher or a politician. You understand what I'm saying? You see, you will never say that to a preacher or a politician. They are the one who can send the spells and the curses, and you don't know. As I said, I'm not gonna read no more of the comment from this way. This troll who's not gonna challenge me. Okay, but I'm gonna educate my brother here. Okay, you say I have. You say you are making a good point, but no, stick with the good point. You're too bad mouth. You see, I use these kind of words and I will always use them to remove bitches from around me. I don't want bitches around me. I don't want cowards around me. I don't want people who want to play nice or be nice around me. I want people to be themselves and be real. The biggest freedom I ever experienced in this world and the best I've ever feel in this world was when I be myself. That's why when these words come, I'm saying them. It made me feel good. I'm not saying them out of any anger. That's why I feel good. I could take the Bible in my hand and use these words because it's just a book concerning the mind. It's a psychological book. It's a book of psychology. So, if you can, that's why you read in the same book of mind science, whereby the higher consciousness that they give a name to, and they make you think is a person when it's a personification of a real enlightened and awakened man. He said, unless you eat my flesh and drink my blood, you have no part with me. You understand? You see, my blood represents my consciousness, my awareness, and my flesh speak about me having this human fleshy experience. You understand what I'm saying? So whichever way I feel to express myself and you can fit in that way of expression, it is because you're not supposed to walk this path with me. You can walk the path with someone else. Someone who don't have a bad mouth. Someone who don't use these words that I just use. You find someone like that and follow them. You could go follow Joe Dispenza. You could go listen to Bruce Lipton, Greg Brady, and you could go listen to all of those people. Don't listen to me. Because I'm going to use these words. The more black people use these words, it's better for them. Instead of having a 1 million man march, we want 10 million people say, fuck Jesus. Bro, we'll break down the white man kingdom. I am telling you. Look, if we could get billions of black people to rise up and say, fuck Jesus, like 1 million times, say, fuck Jesus, fuck Jesus, fuck Jesus, fuck Jesus. You can say that. You know you're directing it to say, fuck the white idol, and you get rid of the idol. You start to deprogram your mind. You start to deprogram your subconscious mind. Oh, that's bullshit. It's fuckery. They miseducate us. It's miseducation of the Negro. They infiltrate our mind from a child. They grape us as little children into the school system with Jesus. No, I reach a man. I think like a man. I act like a man. I behave like a man. I say fuck Jesus like a man. I stand like a man. I speak like a man. I live like a man. I say fuck Jesus. My dead body not going in no motherfucking church. Why? I'm so awake and I know my body ain't going to motherfucking church. No preacher standing up over my dead body to speak no bullshit about no Jesus. Fuck the white man and his idol. I said a million times. You know, we don't need no million man march. Fucking million man march wasting time. Okay, million man march. Huh? What South Africa need? South Africa need as much people saying fuck white Jesus. That's what South Africa need. Burkina Faso, all of those places. You think it's a fucking revolutionary president alone? He must be Muslim or some shit. The fuck, same system. Don't let nobody fool you, bro. The power of life and death is in the tongue. It's in the tongue. The white man have you cursing your own self for so many motherfucking years talking about Jesus. Man, we gun and people become so stupid talking about plead the blood of Jesus. Bring a gun. You can plead the blood of Jesus? I rebuke in the name of Jesus with a fucking gun. And a white man shoot a black woman in your motherfucking face. And you ain't learn? You people ain't learn that? What the fuck wrong with you people? Who be with you? Huh? You had a Martin Luther King. You had a Malcolm X. Brilliant speakers. Now you're a man expressing himself. That's also how many of you want to express yourself. And you come in and tell me about bad mouth. Shut the fuck up. And get a life. And be real. I be my true self. I always want to be like this. I always want to be like this. Just want to be my true self. I tell anybody, man. You as a black man can't wake up and come tell me you not see racism. Don't let nobody fool you, bro. You understand? Watch me. People, I became consciousness itself. I became pure consciousness. I became one with the wind. I know everything connected, and these motherfuckers on the internet, whose brain have been infiltrated by motherfucking information on the internet through the white man propaganda. Do you realize that social media is a place of propaganda? They give you AI videos, give you all kind of things to tell about one name. They make you ashamed to talk about fucking race in America. What the fuck happened to these people? Talking about consciousness and awareness, and they're so positive and they're so spiritual that they don't want to talk about race anymore. Who'll be with you? The less you speak about race, that's how they're going to defeat you. Because they have the racial program. They're still against the people of fucking Haiti. They're still against the people of Jamaica. They mark all of the countries where warriors rose up, and they know warriors would all rise up from these countries. If they could defeat Jamaica in athletics, in the Olympics, if they could find a way to cheat and dope all the athletes just to defeat Jamaica, they do that. Bro, shut the fuck up. Shut up! Motherfucker. There'll never be equal rights and justice in America. What you talking about? Black people in America have to work 10 times harder. You talking shit? They want you to forget. They want you to forget. You can't forget. Never forget. I've never been to America and I don't want to go there. But stand with the people in America that are suffering. Black people. You motherfucking think black people suffer in America, bro? You drive a luxurious vehicle in America being fucking black and driving a certain neighborhood. Policeman harassing you because you black, your motherfucking skin color. You tell me shit, and they're coming down in the Caribbean and play all fucking nice. And the people in the Caribbean play nice to them because they think the people come down because they think they have money and they're rich. And the Prime Minister start about tourism and all kind of fucking foolishness and foolish people. Bro, you need men like me. You need more men like me. Stand on behalf of black people, they wake the fuck up. I need to take a belt and go in all these churches and beat all these fucking black people. That's why I have a banana for all the monkey. All in Spain, all these places, when you go and play soccer, they still make a monkey chant and trim banana. What you talking about? You want me to talk about war? War in Iran? And chump, I don't have my time to give them my energy. I talking truth. Because black people always face segregation. Black people always face fucking separate. Black people always face these things once they're having this human motherfucking experience. And I'm telling you, I'm a self-realized, self-actualized, enlightened person. And I'm telling you, don't make them fool you with saying there's no race. It is on a certain level. And the level of spirit. Everything is connected. And there's one. But on this level, this three-dimensional level, this financial, economical level, the fuck you talk which oneness? Get the fuck out of here. Take your black ass and go to the bank with a white boy and see who first gonna get the motherfucking loan. Talking shit. Even down in the Caribbean, black women couldn't even get to walk in the bank. If they walk in the bank, they used to have to go to the back part of the bank, not to the front. Colorism still going on, you talking about. People still bleaching the motherfucking skin and you talking shit. Huh? So when Neville come and talk about Neville is God, who you be? Servant? A slave? I'll fight, watch me. I'll fight against slavery till the day I motherfucking die. Because I know how freedom sweet. That's why I'm using all of those words. Words of expression. That the white man make you so weak that you can't listen to them. You call them profanity, they fool you. That's about profanity. That's why they give fucking Christianity. And fuck up your mind. Poison your fucking mind with Christianity, make you weak and fragile. Take a book written by man and twist it for you and make you believe in literal and secular history. Make you believe a fucking whale swallow man. Which whale swallow which man? You're that stupid. Make you believe that a donkey talk to a man. And then they think I don't understand what that really means in the metaphysical and in the esoteric and in the psychological. Like the asshole have been commenting, which I wouldn't even read no my comment. Someone says here, I highly suggest everyone listen to Neville lectures. The 6-pointed star. This man is still asleep. Yeah, that's what they're gonna say. The 6-pointed star. Let me give you a story on that. A preacher who knew me since I was a little boy and say greatness. He said when he see me in church, he can't preach. I went to see him before he died, old man. When I was telling him this thing about Jesus is not true, it's not real. Okay, and it's all mind science and so on. He couldn't believe it. Anyway, he turned around, he asked me a question, and he said, he asked me about this Star of David. What do you really mean? I stood up and I put my hand right on my hip. I said, here, right here, is the Star of David. It's a statue of a perfect man. A fully enlightened, self-realized man, like myself. He couldn't doubt. He said, all my life, I've been asking myself the meaning of it. He didn't doubt me. He died and he didn't doubt me. He doubted me about Jesus, you know. But I put my hand on my hip. And I showed him the point star. He didn't doubt. He didn't doubt. He didn't doubt. Pastor built by name. Remember him before he died. So when Roy Lamani want to come and talk, but they can't challenge me. That's what people on the internet, nobody want to challenge me. Challenge me, Zoom call, challenge me. Show how much this man asleep. Challenge the man who asleep. You're afraid to challenge a man who's asleep. That will tell you how weak you be. You're afraid to challenge a man who's asleep. Then he goes on to say, there's nothing enlightened about this man. But he can't tell you about a man who's enlightened. Name one man who you think enlightened. You see, the narrative is that no black man is enlightened. White man enlightened. Bruce Lipton never enlightened. Greg Braden never enlightened. Wade Dyer never enlightened. Wade Dyer was a big, we call it, I tell you, we call it, plagiarizer, you know. Hey, these people make me laugh. Yo, I love to be out there with these kind of people. I love when people make this comment. Like when I put this book together, this book, The Black Mystic from Ethiopia, Neville Goddard mentor. Okay? And I use reverse psychology and I mark them. Okay? All of them who go and get the book, they say, oh, this man is not self-aware. This man is not enlightened. This man has low vibration. No. When these people call you nice, they call you stupid. Once you start to upset these people, because you're doing something right and you're saying something that's right, a sensible black man is a white man devil. Don't make nobody fool you. A sensible black man is a white man devil. Let me run that. I have to put a quote. I have to make that a quote. A sensible black man is a white man devil. I definitely have to make that a quote. Man, when I look at the Caribbean, the entire Caribbean, my heart does move, boy. When I see how our people really enslave, boy. When I watch you in class in my country, boy, that could be no coincidence. With the light-skinned people, and you could change the ancestry. It's not a coincidence. These motherfuckers don't want you to read them. I see. Bro, you know probably when you start to see these people tactics, when you see their propaganda, when you see their strategy, when you can reach to them, you know how powerful you be. You know how much of a devil you be. You know how much of a devil you be when you go up in a colony and you wake up in another colony and understand we're going on to political system, the school system, the church system, and all of the system that they're using, how they program you from a child and all of that. When you see it and when you really experience yourself as consciousness, as pure consciousness and so on, and then people want to come and tell you, but oh, we are all one and everything connect, and they're using it in a wrong way. Someone say, what do I think about Jesus? As I always say, is a lie. It's not no man who exists thousands of years ago. They take the power that you have and give it to you as a person, but it's a personification, which basically represents the creative you. So basically, in order for to steal your creative power, so you be less creative and innovative, they create a character. So you go serve and worship the character. That's how you give away your own motherfucking power. That's why I always say, you have to say, fuck white Jesus. Not just Jesus, no, the white Jesus they gave you, the Jewish Jesus they gave you, fuck that idol. Do you know the people in Israel, the Jews, the so-called Jews and them who fight in war right now? You know they actually just be saying fuck Jesus, but you don't understand them and say that? They give you the idol while they turn around and say fuck that idol. To hurt you, so you will take the blaspheming. They check you. They give you Jesus, turn around and condemn the Jesus that they give you, so you will say that they blaspheme, and you will continue to give them your energy. Those people you can't use. Those people who set up TBN, those people who set up CBN, bro, America is fucked. See me tell you that. I encourage black people to leave America as quick as possible, go find land some other places, come in the Caribbean and set up yourself. America is fucked. The concrete jungle swallowing you. Right now in my country, they have billboard all over offering $30,000 a barrel. We know they do the fattening up with loan. So for the next 30 years, what thing they doing? What thing they doing? It's like the analogy of the pig. You feed the pig, you feed the pig, you feed the pig, and you fatten the pig. And the pig now walk, the pig now do nothing, but you get feed. That's why they just feed you with a loan. To milk you afterwards. So while they feed you, they sharpen the knife, the inches knife. Charge you inches for the next 25 to 30 years. Why? Because you believe in some false God. You look at the outside for some man to come save your black ass. Going to church and thinking some man going to save you. Jumping up and down and making a fool of yourself. So, what do I think about Jesus as I tell you? That's an idol, a false idol. That's the white man idol like plant in your mind. You have to imagine Jesus. And when you imagine Jesus and you plant a white idol, what are you imagining? You're imagining that your God is a white man. That's why he will all time be the one saving your black ass, providing jobs for you. Have your children working at the resort. So while they lie down on cats and sunning their skin, your sons and daughters serving them as waiters and waitresses. Wake the fuck up. And that's how the Caribbean running. And they're running the economy and talking about hospitality industry. That's slavery. I teach my children that for sure. Somebody say, bro, this manifesting thing they teach, like you can get upset or disagree with anything in the world. What else? Jews don't like, yes, Jesus. Jews don't like Jesus. I want to. Someone says here, oh, but I want to come back home. It's good to come back home, but make sure when you come back home, okay, make sure you're well set. Okay, make sure you're well set. Because a lot of people come back home and all they could do is build a house. When a house is not no asset, it's more of a liability. And the way how they talk about IMF and how much our country is in debt, you'll be paying more for land tax and all of these things. So you have to set up yourself real good. But the ordinary people ain't going to understand these things. And that's why right now in my country, most of the young men running away. How they running away? They're joining the police force first. And when they join the police force, then they run away and go and join the British military. Look, it gone so bad that right now, the police force in my country just picking up men from anywhere. If you are a security or whatever, they're just giving you a job as a policeman. It's not a joke. No training, nothing. You don't even have to have any kind of education right now. That's how bad it is. All the young men running, chasing after money, and it's just about 13 pounds, 1,300 pounds. They get in force with the starting with. And then if they have a young lady, if they have a young lady they know, they check them and tell them, oh, you can get certain allowances and so come up and get married. With the same mentality. While the British never come in our country for look for men to play cricket and soccer and rugby. Or to do things that will make them millions. No, for army, for all gun. I didn't plan for go for so long, but it's almost 2 hours, so definitely when it's 2 hours, definitely going to close. Yeah, so someone say yes, Jews don't like Jesus because they know Jesus ain't real, but they give you Jesus. They create Jesus for the monkey. For the monkey mind. The chattering mind, we don't want to meditate. We don't want to calm down their mind. So my brother about telling me, yeah, but you could come back home, but make sure you set up yourself real good when you come. Like, for example, you have a man who leaves this country and went in America and used to run a bakery, and he come back and he still have the bakery. It's the number 1 bakery in the country, Alan's Bakery, selling bread and pastries and all of these other things. And he become number 1. And, you know, sometimes I just look at the other people in my country who've been baking, and I say, you know, they're not taking a pattern from Alan's bread label, everything and all of that. You know, they keep the ingredients to a certain level and all of that and all of that and all of that. Try to do the same thing, but better. Not wrong with copy, being a copycat, you know. Everything is what come from a copycat, you know. Don't know anybody fool, you know. Somebody copy somebody and somebody copy somebody and somebody copy somebody, but you have to make the thing better. Someone says, yeah, I wish I would leave the country my ancestors spilled blood for. Okay. Yeah, you see, let me tell you something. America and those places, they will never build for black people. Okay, they will never build the Constitution, none of these things. Okay, they will never build for accommodate us. Okay. You just have to see how much you can get and then go to a country where there's strictly black people like yourself. There's a different kind of peace you will have. Okay, but make sure don't leave broke. There's a lot of Americans leave and go African so and they're freaking broke. And then they complain about this, they complain about that. I'm not gonna read this person thing here. Let me just call the name. I think this was the same person because I seen the same picture here. Oh, was the same Carmen Brown? Was the same Carmen Brown? I'm not gonna read nothing from Carmen Brown. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna read anything from that person, because everything that person states or say, I could open it up and show it in a different way. You know what I mean? Because the Bible is my playbook. It's a playbook for me. You understand? It's not a religious book. It's not a holy book. It's none of that. It's just basically a book of psychology. Okay, and it's only those who want to learn. Our teachers a book of psychology. Once you master, okay, mentalism and understand really, really and truly how the mind works, you can't help but see the mind of the colonizers and why they play the game that way. And you can't be angry. I hate them. You see that why people don't understand me. I can't be angry at them. I hate them because if I was white, I would have played the same game. Because somebody have to be at the bottom. That's what you see. If people really listen to what I'm saying, you know, I'm saying somebody have to be at the bottom, but it don't have to be you. They want black people to be at the bottom as a collective. And I'm not trying to wake up black people as a collective either. It's for the ones and twos who could take what I'm saying, and I could use the words of them that I want to use, and then I think them is profanity. Because you have to, your mind have to be to another level for you to because, and you know why I be doing it? Let me tell you why. Too, right? To help somebody. When I had my awakening experience and I didn't understand what was going on, and I started going on the internet, I used to find a man named Bobby Hemmett and Phil Valentine. And the thing they used to say used to be of interest to me. But they used to use the same kind of words. And it used to kind of throw me out because I was coming out from Christianity, secular Christianity. I didn't understand until as I grow and I get it. Then I realized, yo, bro, when you really realize, a lot of people don't realize how deep Christianity does really bury you as a black person, you know. Some people don't realize how deep, you know. Some people don't realize what Christianity does really do to black people, you know. Some people don't realize it, boy. You have to be into the depth of it to really understand it. I was one of the most zealous men in Christianity. One of the most hardcore. That's why when I wake up, boy, sometimes same kind of nature. You understand? But habit in a different direction. Someone says, yeah, I notice they want us to be passive. Yeah, that's what they want us to be. Passive. You understand? So, my brother, my sisters, you are God, not Neville. The white man is only God once you choose the part of the servant, once you choose the part of the slave. And once you keep looking for God and you will not accept the devil, which is your higher self is the devil to the white man. If you only understand it. That's why they always tell you, accept Jesus Christ as a personal Lord and Savior. They never tell you to accept the devil as a personal destroyer. Because if you get that destructive power, you could destroy the power that they're using to rule over you and to control you and to make you the employee and not the employer, to make you the head and not the tail, to make you the borrower and not the lender. Man, oh my. I could see this thing so clearly, but who can see? Too bad for them. But my brother, my sisters, you're God, not Neville Goddard. You. We have always been. And we have always had a spiritual science. We have always had a spiritual system. I want somebody to show me what is the white man's spiritual system. And I can invite any man to come in my country and see a spiritual system that started in this country that I live in here. That was first known as Shakerism. And they changed it to spiritual Baptist. And they had Jesus and Bible and Christianity in it, thinking they could have destroyed it. But because of bloodline. You can't kill bloodline. You could kill flesh, but you can't kill bloodline. You could open the whole science of it. Bruce, you talk about Bruce Lipton, you talk about Joe Dispenza, you talk about HeartMath Institute, you talk about, I show it in our science. Hidden. Before they came and destroy and rape and do all of that. Boy, anybody could tell me any stupidness about fucking Christianity? And white man and the colonialism? I could see through Donald Trump, all of them. Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, the so-called Jews, Netanyahu, all of them. So when all of the religious idiots say, oh, they hate Jesus, they don't believe in Jesus. No, they give you fucking Jesus. They don't want the idol. They hold to Kabbalah and Talmud and so on. You realize all those things stolen here. These motherfuckers steal everything from you. But you know they can't steal the DNA, the bloodline. They try to tell you, oh, them is bloodline and this is blood. Eh? It's not just about the money alone. It's about your identity. Identity before money. These people hold to the identity. They hold to the ancestry. A conquering one. Jeffrey Epstein not doing nothing wrong. He might just display the nature. Donald Trump ain't doing nothing wrong. He just displaying the nature. They just display the nature. But you want to be like them. You want to be like them. And I'm saying to you as a black person, don't try to be like them. Be yourself. Because we are different. Nobody fool you, bro. We are different. We are different. And that's all I will be trying to get across to people that will continue to do it. Okay? And I'm going to teach my children about race. I will teach my children about race. Okay? They do teach their children about race. Okay? It's in the nature, it don't change. Nobody tell you, oh, this happened in the past. No, there's no past. And there's no future. There's only now. Nothing change. So, people like we talk about, oh, God is one. Yes. God and the devil is the same person. To the bad side of the same coin. The black man and the white man is one. But to the bad side of the same coin. He want to destroy you so he would live and rule. And I'm saying to you, save yourself so he won't destroy you and rule over you so that you will rule over you. The pastor can't tell you these things. It's too soft. Okay? So, they know how was to switch the horse slave to the pastor or to the preacher and to the minister or government and so on. Okay? You just have to understand these things. Okay? So, my brother and my sisters, a great black man is a man who comes to self-realization and he's showing you the game. So let me end here by saying this. Remember, you have a head and you have a tail. You have above and you have a below. And remember, as above, so below. Remember, the head is where the intelligence is. Okay? And you can't be the head and the foot at the same time. Okay? And the feet is for the ground. And anything that's on the ground will be crushed. Okay? And the devil will always get crushed under your feet. And the devil is your lower nature. And who wants to keep in your lower nature? Bro, I'm not going to lie to you, black people. The white man always wants to keep in your lower nature. That's why he give you a creature. Jesus is a creature. An idol that you created in your own mind. Not them. It is only in their image and their likeness. But you have to imagine Jesus. Okay? You have to imagine Jesus. If I tell you, show me Jesus, I can't show me Jesus. But imagine that there was a man 2000 years ago. do that. That's how they win the game. So my brother, my sister, if you want to play the game with me, get my books. You can get, I have about what? Let me see. I have 3 of my books here. You have this one, can't be proven wrong by any Christian. And see what I put there? Fruit, a fruit tree to show you. By fruit you shall be known. Can't plant pumpkin and reap watermelon. And no Christian could argue with me and win. It is impossible. It is impossible for any religious man, any part of the world, America, Canada, England, Africa, bring one. There's no religious man that exists right now on the planet that would challenge me when I say that the Bible is all mind science. And that everything was false thought, false idea, false imagine. None would take me on that. They're not that dumb. Okay. Then you have this. The black minister from Ethiopia, Neville Goddard mentor. This is where I'm marking Neville. Okay. And the Abdullah theory that he came up with. Okay, to keep you in mental slavery. Using the brotherhood strategy. Secret brotherhood strategy. Okay. Check in you, man. It's a parody playing on you, know. Boy, when you wake up with something else. And then this book. This is the first book I've ever written. Meditate to eradicate poverty. Okay, this is what I'm trying to get you out of your monkey mind. You understand? So that man wouldn't have a chop banana for you. Because your monkey mind is chattering mind, the unorganized mind. That's why they give Christianity so you don't meditate. You will never practice meditation and so on. They tell you when you meditate, you're opening up a demon and all of these things. Okay, and you do not understand what demon is all about. Okay? So, my brother and my sisters, learn how to understand the Bible from a psychological standpoint. Okay, so if you listen to me and you don't listen with an open mind, you think I'm against the Bible. I am telling you, the same sword you come to use to destroy me, I'm going to take away your own soul and cut off your own neck. Story of David and Saul. So basically, they use the Bible to enslave you, but I'm using the Bible, use reverse psychology and show you now, use it to free yourself. Okay? So you're gonna reprogram your subconscious mind. But you have to unlearn and relearn and reprogram your subconscious mind. So you don't go around quoting scriptures like these people, the way how they quote it and believe it to be. So I would open it up to you metaphysically and esoterically and psychologically. So I would open it up to you on 3 levels. You exist on 3 levels. You're the ark with 3 levels, 3 deck. Okay? Physical, psychological, and spiritual. So the Bible have to be open to you on 3 levels to set you free. You understand me now? So a man come on and play quote in scripture, this, da. Sometimes you meet your real mentor and your teacher, you have know how to recognize your own teacher. So you want to fight with the teacher. You understand? And then the teacher will ignore you. But if you're humble enough, you seek your teacher will work with you. Okay? Now, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I am telling you, the Bible is my little playbook. That's why I take Jesus out of the Bible. If you get my Bible called 66 Books of Magic. But I'm going to give you one with all the books now. Okay? I will give you one with all the books. And I leave a blank space. You put I am inside of it. And then you go to John chapter 3 that we talk about the Antichrist. And you see, when you read it with I am, you see, it is the man who denied that I am come in the flesh. It's Antichrist. Watch me. Blasphemy is self-denial. Is doubt. That is a blasphemy. If you doubt yourself, nobody can save you. Nothing can save you. You doubt yourself. So it's unbelief. It's real blasphemy. So my brother, my sisters, don't make Neville trick you. So I say, if Neville is God, make it make sense. Okay? I had the same experience, everything. Now when the people talk about Neville, all the talk about manifestation, and that's a thing that Neville is to talk about. Because it's all about making money. And as long as they could keep you in stupidity, you understand? That's what it's all about. And let me say this, I'm definitely going to come to a close. Anybody who listen to me and think I have hatred against white people, you're stupid. A goat can hate a sheep. A goat only need to understand a sheep. That's all. And that's all I try to tell you. White people understand black people to a T. That's why for so many years, they could employ you, build resort, build all that. They could come together and we can't come together. I prove it over and over. Let me say this. A time, a young man and myself meet two white men. As a matter of fact, the two white men was in his yard. And I said to him, I see you have two Mormons in your yard. One of them said, no, we are not Mormons. I said, yes, you are not Mormons. And the young man happened to see him with a book in his hand, and the young man couldn't read. Because they believe most black people, they can't read and write, okay? They believe we illiterate and we stupid. So the young man says, that blue book you are holding in your hand, it says the book of Mormon. So why you say you're not Mormon? And the same time the young man realized, the young man called me. He said, open the gate and come in. So he called me in. When he called me in, I felt so good. I said, okay, two of us and these two white men now. This is my time to really attack them in a way that they can't deal with. Because I'm going to talk about how their ancestors, which is themselves, basically, because the DNA come down, okay, enslave our people, and they're still doing it, using the Bible. When I think this young man going to join with me, you know what this young man went against me? When I talk about Jesus being fake and all of this thing, I say, bro, these people study us before they come down here. These guys, before they leave, what the place name? The place where they shoot this guy, this Coke guy. That's where they had the headquarters. The Mormons have the headquarters. Trying to remember that place in America. But that's where they shoot Charlie Coke down there. In Arizona. But you know the place I'm talking about. Okay, I was trying to remember it, but I can't remember it right now. Where the Mormons have the headquarters, right? I said, these guys, before they come in the Caribbean, they already don't study us and so on. These guys ain't coming to Cambodia to nothing, you know. They're just trying to see how much of us is monkeys and slaves and all of that. And I say, if they can't talk to us about the ills of what was done through slavery, don't have no conversation with them. I would not shake their hand, I would not have none to them. And one of them started to turn red. And this guy thought we were scaring them. Little do you know, it's anger. There's anger. I was bringing out the animal out of him, the beast, the devil. I was bringing out the devil out of him. Okay, the demon they have inside of them. This turn, there's literally turn. The turning red is because of the lack of the melanin they have inside of them. They uncivilized. Okay. Yeah, that was what I was showing him, but he couldn't understand it. And he was looking at me, and I could see the rage, I could see the anger, everything he have. You understand? And I know what I was doing. And he was getting like, let me say, like sympathy, thinking that I was scaring him. I was scaring him. He didn't understand what's going on. And I said, I would have nothing to do with these people. I would not shake their hand. I would never hug them. I would never do nothing with them unless they want to talk what we were supposed to talk about. And this man proceeded to show me he could hug them because of Christianity. That's how Christianity had he messed up. I remember a purpose in my heart. The ancestors will never allow you to prosper in life. You're going to suffer. And I'm going to rise. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Right now, you're trying to get mixed up with politicians and all kind of foolishness in life because of what you do. Don't do them things. Say refuse. I'll not shake their hand. I won't hug them. Ancestors, stand with me for that. You understand? So, my brother and my sisters, I'm telling you, bro. I'm saying all of this to show you. You have to understand your enemy. And your enemy is your lower self. And who's keeping you in your lower self? They are the ones keeping you in your lower self. How do they keep you in your lower self? They set up a system to keep you in your lower self. But it's not them who doing it, it's you doing it to yourself. Gosh, man, I wish people could get it. The white man ain't doing you nothing. He set up a system for you to do it to yourself. But if black people want to catch this thing, you know, man. The self-doubt, the self-hate, all of these things that when I speak, you think I am accusing the white man, you think I'm playing a victim game. Bro, you have to listen to me. You have to understand me. Oh, Utah. Yeah, thanks for the reminder. Somebody remind me that Utah, they come down from Utah. Yeah. But they had Brigham Young University and all that thing. The Brigham Young was a man after Joseph Smith. He had a bunch of wife and all that thing. But he get message from Angel Mulroney and Monk Mariah and all of that shit. You understand? And all the religion black people believe in, down here, and all the denominations, some white man, some white woman give them that. LNG white, all of them. Yeah, so when you hear me speak, fuck me, hate no white people. I hate no white people. I just understand and want everybody to understand these people. So you won't be the slave. That's all. So use your own power. You can listen to Neville Goddard and you take where you want and where you don't want. You say, fuck Neville. Because he ain't bringing nothing new to you. Fuck. You think you owe Neville Goddard something? I ain't owe Neville Goddard nothing. I owe Wayne Dan nothing. I owe them nothing. So, my brother and my sister, understand where I'm coming from because I keep saying these things over and over. And I'll be talking about race over and over. And don't think that I ain't conscious. I know which level I'm speaking on. There's levels to what I'm talking about. There's a level where you don't see race. That level is a spiritual level of and having a spiritual experience that you becoming pure consciousness. There's no race there. But on this level, having this human experience, having a passport, having geographical places that I have to go to and use a passport, yo, race is very important. Don't make nobody fool you. Okay? Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, my brother, my sisters, wise up, man. I really, really love black people. I stick it with black people. Okay, black people might want to crucify me, but I sticking with them. Okay? I know the struggles. I stand with my brothers and sisters in America, man. They've been through plenty. A lot. And they're still going. Okay? So, my brothers and my sisters, claim your God self. Believe in your God self. Believe in no other God. Okay? So when they never tell you, if you say Lord God and think of something outside yourself, they're the wrong God, they give you the wrong God, don't make you fool you. If you use reverse psychology, you realize devil is a devil. And hiding that he's a devil by trying to expose the devil when they are the devil. If you understand where I'm coming from. You have to understand where I'm coming from. You know? If there's God and the devil, and there's the positive view and the negative view, okay, and they're setting up system to keep in the negative view, then they're playing the part of the devil. That's why sometimes people use the terminology and say, I'm just going to play devil advocate. So you have to understand the concept of God and devil. Okay. You have to understand the concept, my brother and my sister. It's very important. Okay. It's very, very important that you understand these things. Okay. So, race is just you talking about birds and you have different species of birds. It's just like you talking about animals, you have different species of animals. You talk about fish, you have different species of fish, but they're all fish. Okay? We all having this experience here. Okay? Some people have melanin more than some people. Some people have more soul than some people. Don't make nobody fool you. Some people are more closer to the sun than some people. Don't make nobody fool you. The secret that these people are hiding is behind the ice. Let me read it again, then I'll come to the close. The real secret that these people are hiding is behind the ice, Antarctica. Okay, so my brother and my sister, I really want to thank you very much. I want to encourage you to support my books, get Meditate to Eradicate Poverty, Can't Be Proven Wrong by any Christian. Okay, we're using the law of reproduction. Every seed or species must and will all reproduce after its own kind. And just have to look at your life and what you're bringing forth. Okay, and all that. Okay, and get the Black Mystic from Ethiopia, Neville Goddard Mentor, where I use reverse psychology. We're using the script of Abdullah that was given to Neville to play the game on you. It's a game. So I really want to come to a close here. Let me just say this last thing. I went in the supermarket and my little daughter was with me and he was telling me, Daddy, you want chocolate? And there's a man there pointing at chocolate and telling me, why you ain't buy this one? Because it's marked Vincentian chocolate. I said, bro, don't make them fool you. This is not no Vincentian chocolate. It's white people running this here. Before they opened this, I saw them drinking wine and eating cheese. before they start the Vincent and chocolate. And there are the people working in the field planting the cocoa. And they're running the chocolate business and call it Vincent and chocolate. I see the white people them. I they watch the television news or whatever years ago. See them eating cheese and drinking wine. Black people don't eat cheese and drink wine, so I see them. I don't make up things. Eating cheese and drinking wine. Celebrating the opening up the Vincent and chocolate and the name itself for Czech people because you believe in nationality and you believe you're supposed to be patriotic and all of this bullshit. Come on. Wake up, people. Wake up. I gone over 2 hours. I'm going to come to a close here. I really want to thank you very much. I have another live. I plan to just do 1 hour, to be honest with you. But I follow my spirit. I want to thank you all very much. I love you all very much. I continue to labor and fight the good fight of faith to wake up or could wake up. I'm not trying to wake up black people as a collective. I'm waking up the 1 and 2 black people who would recognize color and realize that color is important and color matter and realize the mortality and the immortality, the oneness and the duality too. Okay? Don't make the trick you. So with that being said, my brother and my sister, I just want to say peace. Love you all. Continue to be gods and goddesses. That's who you truly are. So with that being said, I want to say peace. Love you all.